Good afternoon, staff. I wanted to share some information with you. So again, I thought the best way to do so would be to do a flip meeting instead of trying to call everyone together to share information. We had a leadership team meeting last week on Thursday, and then on Friday we had our 45-day visit with 8 members from the Board of Education who came, and we had to share with them our initiatives that we came up with as a group with our leadership team. Essentially, how the process worked was we went to the board office, we talked to them about what our garden, that's what they called it, what our garden looked like, what we had in our garden that we wanted to weed out as a school, then what we wanted to invest in, and what we wanted to try to evaluate. And so we came back, met with the leadership team. We had papers that we had all shared on with Post-it notes, what initiatives and things that we were doing at the school that we felt like we could weed, what we felt like we needed to invest in, and what we're still evaluating based upon whatever data we have. And so we came up with what we think we really needed to invest in. It's working for us and we want to keep those things. And so we also had to look at what the county is saying their initiatives are. And so the county gave us 5 initiatives that they wanted us to work on. The leadership team talked about what initiatives we should take on as a school. And so we had to add initiatives to the county initiatives. And so in total, we have 9 initiatives that we're taking on as a school. So I'm going to show you the PowerPoint. I'm going to attach to the email the PowerPoint as well so that you can look through it as we're talking. All right, how about I push play? All right, so the first initiative is the school climate initiative. And so we have to say where we are and where we want to go. So we are currently, according to CCRPI, at 4 stars on our climate survey for our climate, school climate. And we want to get to 5 stars. And so I listed different things that we're currently doing, like staff birthday celebrations, student initiatives, Mustang of the Month, flip faculty meetings, exemplar videos, Music Monday, our order out, Fabulous Fridays, anonymous bullying reporting procedure, and guidance small groups. One of the things that hit us the hardest when it came to our school climate surveys for parents and for students was bullying. And we know that that is something that they misunderstand a lot of times what true bullying is. However, we feel like that's something that we have to address. And so we want to make sure that we share those bullying procedures with parents and with students, make sure they know what our procedures are. We also thought about and had talked to the counselors before about doing online submissions of bullying forms. And we said the active monitoring as a school emphasis this year, like we've asked you to be out in the hallway to monitor students. That's another action step that we're doing this year that's going to help with school climate. The other thing that the leadership team would like to see, and you're going to see this on several of the initiatives, is to start or bring back really to South Middle advisement. And so every certified teacher would take on an advisement group of about 16 to 17 students. We would talk to them about their attendance, which is one of our initiatives. We'll talk to them about their behavior, about their grades, and all of those will fall under our different initiatives. Talk to them about Lexile. That's one of our initiatives. Literacy is. And so all of this should help our school climate. And so we put that under this as well. I then, for the Board of Education, just put up some pictures of things that I felt like supported our initiative of school climate. The next initiative that we have is the graduation initiative. And again, this is a county initiative. So currently I put our percent of students assessment scoring at proficient or distinguished on milestones is 49.108. That was from 2015. Remember, we don't have last year's data yet. And so also the percentage of students earning 1 high school credit was 15.385 in 2015. So our desired outcome, we'd like to have the percentage of students proficient or distinguished on the milestones at 54.108, and also the percentage of students earning 1 high school credit at 19%. And we got that number based upon the number of students that are in Spanish and in advanced physical science. So we think we can make that jump from 15% to 19%. Current implementation, we talked about PBL Math, Real STEM, school-wide discipline plan, the teacher discipline matrix that you have this year, academic discipline and our focus on that, RTI, our interest inventory, which used to all fall under Georgia College 411, and the 8th grade graduation plan. We have Spanish. We have the advanced physical science. The weekly tutoring offered by all teachers. We think that's going to help with our graduation initiative. And action steps. We've put the new changes this year, the discipline plan and the academic discipline. We also have and want to include more students in advanced physical science. We'd like to move toward all STEM students being in the advanced physical science in order to get that high school credit. We'd also like all STEM students to be in PBL math. And then the advisement, we think, would fall for the graduation initiative as well. Our next initiative, our third one, is parent involvement initiative, and I've really tried hard with this since I got into the position, so I feel like we're already moving in the right direction with this. So we chose this. Well, we didn't choose it. The county has it as one of their initiatives, so we're doing it as well. Our current position, we put evaluate. Again, that goes back to the garden, whether we're evaluating what's in our garden, and our desired outcome is to invest in it. Current implementation, we talked about the community involvement in STEM, 6th grade transition team, coffee and conversation, my weekly call home, the Facebook, we're doing more with Mariella Manhattan, Twitter, newspaper, include community and STEM projects, STEM night, parent portal, sign up encouragement, your teacher websites, teacher parent communication apps such as Remind and Blooms. Action steps, we feel like we're moving in the right direction and just continue allowing individual teachers to have parent involvement. So we think we're moving in the right direction when it comes to the parent involvement initiative. We're just going to keep on with that one. And I just put the coffee and conversation and the weekly call home. All right, our next initiative is the data analysis initiative. We said currently we're recording in data notebooks. We think that this is LEAD, which was also part of the garden, where certain teachers are stronger than others when it comes to recording their data, and our desired outcome is to invest in it. So our current implementation are the data team notebooks. We have the data teams. We have the RI. Used to be the SRI and math screener data analysis, teacher analysis of common unit assessments. And our action steps, we want professional development. We want to use data team notebooks for a purpose and not just to turn in. TEKS documentation of individual data analysis. Administrators will check the TEKS notebook, attend data team meetings, and check data team notes. The one thing that we'd like to review for professional development is the 6 steps and the required unit analysis and the right score analysis. Again, I've been talking to some people already about this initiative. They've been sharing, the leadership team has been sharing, and what it really comes down to is just like when we talked about TEKS with differentiation, it's about providing evidence that you're doing this in your classroom. And so if certain teachers have different unit tests at this point, they're not the common unit tests for like science or social studies, just show that you are doing your data analysis and put that in your data team notebook when you all meet and you can talk about how your students did on your test. Professional Learning Initiative. Again, this is one of the county ones. That's why it says it's number 42, their 42nd initiative. Our current place is supportive and identified needs. Supportive of identified needs, and our desired outcome is continuous improvement. Our current implementation, we have the collaborative planning, we have a STEM coach, we have the iLearn training that's coming up, we have the RI training for staff, you'll find out about that, real STEM collaboration, classroom management for teachers that need that, exemplar videos, TEKS modules as needed, peer observations, if you desire, DBQ, RI, PBL math, extended response training for math, fun strategies for teaching reading and writing in social studies, new teacher mentor training. And the action steps, we have a professional development plan. So I shared with them our professional development plan. We'll see if it comes up. I'll attach this as well so you'll have it. But essentially what we're looking to do is, and you can see on your attachment that we started back for this whole school year. So it goes from June, where there was the math unit work, the ELA constructive response, we had the Buck Institute, we had lots for STEM, we had the new teacher codex training during pre-planning. So I put all of that in there. But what you're going to see starting in the fall, During grade level meetings, I'm going to get Miss Seeley to do a professional learning with you, just to show you how you can look at your students' RI scores, their Lexiles, and what you can do with that information that is in SAM, so that you can use that data for your class. So again, that falls under the data analysis initiative and for the professional learning. We're also going to, because it's part of our initiatives to have DBQs, Mr. Reberg is going to do one during his planning or during your planning on that. I'm also going to ask, I haven't talked to her yet, but shock Miss Knight, Becky Knight, to do one during planning periods on Bloom. She's using that, and I think a lot of people aren't very familiar with Bloom, so she would like to share, or she will share with you, how you could use that in your classroom. The other one that I've asked Mr. Beam to do that will support our literacy initiative is the News ELA, where you can choose articles based upon students' Lexiles, and so he's going to do that. So essentially, we've tried to pull for the fall during your planning times at various dates, not to take up your whole planning or anything like that, but to support our initiative for our professional learning, which will also support your professional goals in TEKS. And so we've kind of chosen one per initiative to do with you. And so that's where you'll see our professional development, which supports our initiative. Our next one, those would be our specific school initiatives, and we have 4 school initiatives. So the first one is Student Support Initiative. We feel like we're already doing a lot. The leadership team did on student support, so we felt like this should be a good initiative for us. So I chose to put in there that we feel like students are meeting typical high progress. We had 567 students out of 866 meet typical high progress. In 2015, there were 65.47, and we'd like our desired outcome of the typical high growth for 2017 to be 70.5%. So we took that from CCRPI. That's where I'm getting a lot of our current and desired outcomes. Then our current implementation for student support, we have RTI, we have RI, the Lexile for the entire school, the math intervention, iPass, Read 180, Read 180 Night, weekly tutoring offered by All Teaching. So again, that comes in for this initiative, an attendance initiative, incentives, and then academic discipline. In our action steps, there's going to be an iPass training for resource teachers, RI training for staff, which you saw in the professional development, and then tier support. The next one is our STEM initiative. Since we're doing STEM, we thought we should choose this as an initiative. And so currently we're on a level 2 or 3 in some areas on the continuum, and we'd like to be fully implemented according to the STEM certification for the state. So currently we have the PBL Math, Advanced Content, Physical Science, Real STEM, the partnership with Georgia Southern, STEM Clubs, DBQs, Professional Development, Team Collaboration on Projects, partnership with the Warnell Center, guest speakers from all different companies. So our action steps is to provide continual professional development for STEM, utilize the STEM coach and the STEM administrator, and develop STEM projects. And then also we think the advisement can help the STEM initiative as well. The other one that you've probably seen kind of around the school, I started already putting information up front by the office, is the attendance initiative. So currently, again, I'm pulling this from CCRPI because our attendance is very important on CCRPI for students who had fewer than 6 days absent, and this is something that I think we can improve. And when you talk about CCRPI, students were obviously the lowest when it came to fewer than 6 days, but we also have on our CCRPI, we get points for staff attendance as well. And that's why at the sign-in sheet, you'll see your percentage from the day before, how many teachers were present, because we want to make sure that we keep our attendance as well as staff high too, so we can get the most points possible on CCRPI. So currently for student attendance, the adjusted performance of students with fewer than 6 days absent was 61.731 in 2015. So our desired outcome would be 66.731, up 5% is what we would like to see. And so our current implementation, we have students' incentives for attendance. We have an attendance committee with monthly meetings and teacher contact when students are absent 3 days. And some of our action steps, we've said to have the attendance bulletin board, which Miss Donaldson has created for us. We have attendance celebrations. One of the things the leadership team would like to see is the grade level with the highest attendance rate have an afternoon social time or a movie. And so we'll talk more about how we're going to be able to do that, but you can already see their weekly attendance out on the boards. I believe, I just put it up yesterday, but I believe 8th grade had the highest attendance rate for last week. The average for last week, 8th grade had the highest attendance rate. So I'm keeping up with that from week to week, and so we can decide how to reward them. And I'll listen to any options that you would like us to do. Daily stats in the front office. You can see as you come into the front office to the left, there are brightly colored cards that tell us how many students were absent the day before, how many were tardy, and how many left early. And honestly, I've been a little shocked by that. Last week, our daily attendance, we had 96.16% were here. We had, on Monday, we had 44 students absent. On Tuesday, we had 42. Wednesday, we had 32. Thursday, we had 32. And Friday, we had 52 students absent. But I've really been shocked more by the leave earlies. That seems to be where it's really been kind of amazing. But we want to work on the student incentives for attendance. And so I know Ms. Bullock has even looked at doing things instead of just getting stable cards. This time they're doing movie gift cards. And I think that may help us as well, or at least we're going to try. Daily stats in the front office. We talked about, too, having a duty-free lunch for teachers when they have over 98% attendance as a weekly average. And so I'm going to pull that from Friday to Thursday. And then if teachers have a 98% weekly average, then on that Friday, they get to have a duty-free lunch, and we will watch the lunch for you. And then teacher perfect attendance drawing, just like we're doing for the students, where they can get in to get the movie gift certificate or for a Tanger gift card. We're going to do the same thing for the teachers as well. And we also think that the advisement will support that attendance initiative too. All right, so there are the pictures in the front office that I shared with the board. And our last one is our literacy initiative. Currently, our percent of students scoring at developing or above on the Milestones ELA is 81.3 in 2016. Also, the Lexile performance for students that were at 1050 for 8th graders was 78.679 in 2015. And the difference is that's pulling from the Milestones Lexile, not our RI Lexiles. So our desired outcome is to have percentage of students scoring at developing or above on the Milestones at 84.3%. And also we'd like our Lexile performance to be at 81.7%. Current implementations, like I said, we have that RI. We're doing our Lexile for the whole school. We have the Read 180. We have the social studies teachers having that training of the fun strategies for teaching reading and writing in social studies. We're doing the DBQs, which again, Rehberg is going to do a little workshop on to support our initiative as professional development. Writing and math on unit tests, and we said the action steps, conferencing with students about their RI scores, which you'll know more how to do once Celie does her professional development to support this initiative, and training for teachers to understand the RI scores, DBQ on lesson plans, vertical collaboration, and again, we think the advisement will help that as well. So you can see where we're trying to pull in the little professional development given by your staff members or your peers so that it will help and support each initiative. We're not just doing professional development just haphazardly. We're providing ones done by your staff members to support the initiative, even especially since we're calling them action steps. The other thing we had to share with them was a visitation plan. One of the things that we had to do, Ms. Dennison and I went to the board office and had to look at like schools demographics to us and look at their scores on the Milestones, look at their Lexile scores, look at their attendance from CCRPI, and find those schools within the state of Georgia who are demographically similar to us, but they perform better than us, and we have a plan to go visit them. And so we chose actually 3 schools that perform better than us on all areas, and we would like to go to Gwinnett County, and there are 3 schools, middle schools in Gwinnett County that we'll be able to see just in the one trip. And so we'd like to do that. And so we had to say why. And so I said the district and schools exceeded our performance for attendance. So that goes under our attendance initiative. I want to see what they're doing to have better attendance than us. ELA scores are better than ours. And again, that goes under the literacy initiative. The number of students taking and passing high school physical science, which goes under our STEM and our graduation initiative. And then their overall CCRPI scores are better than ours. So this is kind of the new school improvement plan that the county is going to. And I really like it and think it's more user-friendly for us. So essentially we have 5 supporting of county initiatives, and then we have 4 of our own. So 9 initiatives altogether that we are going to do. We have where we are currently and our desired outcome, what we're doing currently, and what our action steps are. And so again, if you have suggestions, if you have things you'd like me to add, because it's always a document that is working and continuing to change, if you have things you'd like me to add, please let me know. If you have suggestions for the initiatives and incentives, like the attendance initiative, and incentives for the attendance for yourselves, for the staff, or for the students, I'd love to hear those ideas as well. We're pulling all the data, but what can we use with that data to support our students being here or to support you all being here? So I wanted to make sure to share this with you. It was a big deal for us to go through this process with the leadership team and share it with the board last Friday, and so I wanted to make sure you all are aware of what our focus is. We've talked to you about some things that were important to us, such as the monitoring of students in the hallway, which falls under our school climate initiative. And so those items that we're asking you to focus on this year are falling under these initiatives, and that's why we're asking you to focus on those things and make those a priority in your classroom and in school. So if you have questions, please let us know. Otherwise, I want to make sure that you all have a great week. Don't forget to order your Wild Wings for Friday.
Next on the list, right? What's this? Oh, Lord. Anybody lose this? What is it here? Anybody lose this?
Oh, that's so depressing.
Oh, wow.
Read it.
Read it. I don't think I should. This is somebody's stuff. Huh?
That's their fault for troubling it up.
I don't know. Read a sentence? I'm not sure how to start this letter. But I'm not sure how to start this letter, but I feel we need to talk. Please, no. Somebody in here dropped this. Alright, I'll read the next line. So I'm not sure how to start this letter. I feel we need to talk. I've been thinking about this a lot. Things used to be so great. It was like we were made for each other. Everyone said it was perfect. I really thought we would be together forever. But then things changed.
Not change.
I feel like you were taking me for granted. You just started to do whatever you wanted. And never asked me about anything or how I felt. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I don't want to hurt you, but I think it's time we broke up. Alright, look, hush. I mean, it's not going to work. I need some time by myself to see what it is like on my own. I'm sorry things didn't work out, but I do think you are the one to blame. One last sentence. I'm sorry, but us is over. Oh my God!
They drew a broken part of the back.
It's signed.
Oh no.
It's signed.
Don't say the name.
Only hold it a little bit. No, I got it's signed. It's signed. The American colonies.
That made no sense.
I get it. I'm depressed.
I get it, what you did there.
Settle. Thank you, Ethan. What is this? What is this?
The Declaration of Independence.
It's a breakup letter between who?
The colonies in Georgia.
The British and the American colonies. All right. Settle.